What if everything we thought we knew about Hagrid was a lie? What if the kind-hearted half-giant, the man we all saw as a protector, wasn't just a loyal servant of Dumbledore, but someone with darker allegiances? Could it be possible that Hagrid was, in fact, a Death Eater? At first glance, the idea sounds impossible. After all, Hagrid has always been portrayed as one of the most selfless characters in the wizarding world. But when we start looking deeper, certain events and behaviors raise some disturbing questions. Let's go back to the beginning. Hagrid was expelled from Hogwarts after Tom Riddle accused him of opening the Chamber of Secrets. The official story is that he was falsely accused and that it was actually Riddle himself who unleashed the basilisk. But what if the story was more complicated than that? Hagrid and Tom Riddle were in school at the same time, and we know that Riddle was exceptionally skilled at manipulation. He could convince even the most powerful wizards to believe in him. Hagrid, on the other hand, was isolated, looked down upon by his peers, and probably desperate for friendship. Could it be that Riddle didn't just frame Hagrid but actually recruited him in some way? What if he saw in Hagrid a potential ally, someone with brute strength, a love for dangerous creatures, and a deep connection to the Forbidden Forest? Consider this. Hagrid was obsessed with powerful, often illegal magical creatures. He raised Aragog, a giant acromantula, inside the castle. He later brought a dragon egg into Hogwarts. He even hid Fluffy, a three-headed dog, inside the school for Dumbledore. Was this just his love for magical beasts, or was he stockpiling dangerous creatures for something bigger? Could he have been unknowingly, or even knowingly, helping Voldemort build an army of magical creatures? One of the biggest arguments against Hagrid being a Death Eater is Dumbledore's trust in him. But let's not forget, Dumbledore also trusted Snape, who was once a Death Eater. What if Dumbledore suspected something about Hagrid but decided to keep him close? It wouldn't be the first time he kept a dangerous individual in check by making them feel valued. Hagrid's connections with giants are another interesting factor. Voldemort actively sought to recruit giants for his army, and yet when Hagrid went to speak with them, he claimed that his goal was to get them on Dumbledore's side. But what if his true mission was different? What if he was actually feeding Voldemort information about the giants, keeping him updated on their alliances? Hagrid fought in both wizarding wars, but unlike many other Order members, he was never seriously injured. During the Battle of Hogwarts, he was taken captive by Death Eaters, but instead of being killed or tortured, he was released. Why would Voldemort's followers spare him? Were they ordered not to harm him? Could it be that they saw him as one of their own, or at the very least, as someone useful? And then there's the issue of his background. Hagrid's mother was a giant, and giants have historically been drawn to dark magic. While we don't know much about his mother's past, it is possible that she had ties to dark wizards, and that Hagrid was influenced by those connections. If Hagrid was working for Voldemort, even in secret, it would change everything we know about the Harry Potter story. Imagine if he wasn't just there to protect Harry, but to monitor him. Imagine if he was placed in Harry's life to make sure he was raised a certain way, to keep him dependent on Dumbledore, and to prevent him from realizing his full potential too soon. Think about the way Hagrid introduced Harry to the wizarding world. He made sure Harry saw Dumbledore as a hero. He took him straight to Diagon Alley, made sure he got an owl instead of a more useful magical pet, and introduced him to the idea that Slytherin was bad. Was this all just coincidence, or was he subtly guiding Harry toward a predetermined fate? If Hagrid was working for Voldemort, it would make sense that he wanted to keep an eye on Harry. He was the first person to take him away from the Dursleys. He made sure Harry trusted him. He guided him through his early years. It was the perfect cover. If Hagrid had truly been a Death Eater, the entire Wizarding War would have played out differently. He could have fed crucial information to Voldemort. He could have sabotaged Hogwarts from the inside. And he could have ensured that key moments in Harry's journey happened exactly as they needed to, all while appearing to be a harmless, bumbling giant. Of course, this is just a theory. There's no direct evidence that Hagrid was a Death Eater, but that's what makes this idea so compelling. The best spies are the ones no one ever suspects. Hagrid was always underestimated, dismissed as a simple and well-meaning figure. But what if that's exactly what made him the perfect agent? So what do you think? Could Hagrid have secretly been working for Voldemort? Or is this all just a wild theory? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video and don't want to miss the next one, subscribe. I will be very grateful.